I am Sakuachi, the youngest scion in a long line of Erutaki seers. Like my forebears, I was born and raised in Aminuit, a small town on the crown of the world, northeast of Avestan. My mother, Sialuk, and my grandmother, Seishu, both taught me how to see patterns in the ice below, read the stars above, and interpret the signs of the natural world all around. It was astronomy, above all other pursuits, that appealed most to me. As a girl, I spent many long nights studying constellations, practicing with my astrolabe, and divining omens from the wisps and waves of the aurora. Before I was 5 years old, I'd already learned the names of every star configuration, the positions of the visible planets, and how to predict and interpret the movement of the celestial mantle. By the time I was a teenager, I was the town's best astronomer. All the while, Elder Seishu looked proudly upon me, but she also bore the burden of a terrible secret. She knew that, one day, I would be forced to reckon with an ancient and terrible evil. On the 21st of Erastus, 4722 AR, at the close of my final summer before adulthood, unnatural blue lights beamed up from the center of the crown of the world. Around Galarian, you all know this as the night of the missing moment. To Elder Seishu, it was a sign that the time had come for me to fulfill my grim destiny. That night, Seishu dreamt of an ancient being of white fur, bestial horns, and glowing runic tattoos. Aina Murin, the last Salman Kar. Seishu had befriended Aina Murin long ago, and for years she'd listened to his dire warnings of a great evil that lurked beneath the crown of the world. She hadn't seen her friend in many seasons, though, so his dream visit came as a surprise. In this dream, Aina Murin told Seishu that his strength was fading, and that soon he wouldn't be able to maintain the magic that keeps the ancient evil sealed beneath the ice. To renew the seal, Aina Murin explained, the Salman Kar's magic would need to be renewed through the sacrifice of a god. A quest which only a mortal could undertake. As Seishu's dream vision faded to darkness, one of Aina Murin's runes glowed brighter and longer than all the others. Early the following morning, Seishu met with the other elders and told them the time had come to send one of our own on a holy quest. As Seishu had predicted, I eagerly volunteered to take on this quest. Together, the elders agreed that I, young and good of heart, should take on this great task. With me, the town sent 4 companions: the hunter, Denigi, the guide, Enuma, the storyteller, Hamak, and the navigator, Ulikuk. Together, we gathered and took a solemn vow to return to our homeland with a sacrificial god. Before we left, Seishu took me aside. To honor the one who has given us this quest, Seishu told me, you must take this symbol as your own. She held my hand firmly in her grasp so much that it hurt. And though the grip was tight, I felt a warmth in her palm. When she withdrew her hand, I bore one of Einamuran's runes, like a fresh tattoo. In his travels, Enuma had heard of a land called Sakuachi, where gods still roamed the material plane, but no one in Inuit had ever been there. The town's most skilled sorcerer had visited a city called Skywatch long ago, so she teleported our group there to expedite our journey. Yet when we arrived, my companions and I discovered the city strangely abandoned and full of danger. The streets seemed to writhe and twist under our feet, confusing our minds. We became separated, and I barricaded myself in the city's observatory after being chased by violent raiders. Glancing through the observatory's telescope, I prayed to the stars above for help in my challenging endeavor. Amazingly, the stars answered. The telescope formed a magical conduit with astronomers on another planet, and they teleported you all to Skywatch to help me. Even more astonishing, you Gatewalkers wore the same rune of Einamuran as I did. I believed in many wonders, but not coincidences. From then on, I knew that our destinies were entwined, and I'd need to stay close to my strange new friends if I was to fulfill my quest. Do you see my hesitance to tell you some of this? I was fearful.
No. You're a liar. That's what you are. We asked you multiple times if you knew about the runes, if you knew about what was going on, and yet you said nothing, like you knew nothing. And then you look at us as if we're the ones sabotaging you in your journey. All of this sounds very selfish of you. You had us come all the way out here in this danger and put us into this place, this strange place that procs all kinds of weirdness, for you now to just open up to us. I do not like or understand your story. You call us friends, but yet you never treated us as such. We have risked our lives for you. For what? A rock. And now you open up to us and tell us this sad story of you. We all have been through something here. We've been honest and open to you, but yet here you are. Someone please stop me from ending this whole masquerade right now.
Perhaps we ask questions rather than berate.
Berate? They have just told us stuff that they said they had no idea about.
I understand. And I agree with you.
First is the professor, now is
But
always
let's find out
leaving
more.
stuff out.
Hmm?
Yeah, you're on your own finding stuff out. I tire of doing this and doing everyone else's deeds with doing half-truths. We could have
Perhaps we
lost
might
you.
find some truths, Malavik.
We could have lost you today. How many times have I seen you blinked in a moment of death? I have my issues, I understand that, but this is too much. We go on a journey where it's supposed to be fate, or is in our fates are intertwined. All I hear is lies. You two, you all, do what you must. When you come to a decision, you can come and get me. Otherwise, I'll tend to the horse. Seems to be the only honest thing around here. I will get up and walk towards the horse.
This Einamuran, What do you know of them?
Not as much as Seishu. But Ainamuran has been a friend to our tribe, taken a great burden on themselves to protect the world. You must understand. I am sorry if you feel as if I have deceived you. But the visions, strange dreams, I did not know what to make of everything. I did not know if Ainamuran had betrayed us, if you were somehow involved. Everything was so confusing. I gave it time. I tried to wait before I made any judgments. And your friend is right. You have been through much, and you have almost died. And for that I am sorry.
And how are you sure that this is not a burden of this Ainamuran's own creation? That they seek to only destroy these gods in general? Perhaps it is a plan to do that, to wipe out the gods.
I don't know how to explain it, but it would go against all that my tribe knows of Ainamura. And my elders have never been poor judges of character. And I think I have not been a poor judge of your character either.
I see. And this magic that allows to seal this evil at the crown of the world, this was granted to your elder by Ainamuran, or?
No. Ainamuran's people, the Salman Kar, did this. And he is the last.
I would like to look over at our new companions. How are they taking all of this?
They're still kind of recovering. So, everyone was very injured in that place. Basically, mechanically, they were down to 10 HP, so they were pretty hurt. So Yara's still tending to their wounds. It looks a bit like a trauma ward or triage at the moment out there.
Did this illumination from Sakuachi seem more for our benefit or for our new guests?
I think for everyone. Once this, you don't have to make a roll for that. It seemed like once Zaya was talking about the gods and Demora, and there was a light that went off with Sakuachi. You could see it visibly. I think Malavik noticed it too, where she felt like finally she could open up.
And throughout that conversation so far, does it seem as though she's hiding anything else to me?
Make a perception check.
16 anyway.
Okay. It's hard to say. She's kept some stuff from you so far. It might be.
Would it be possible for me to try to see if she's holding back either?
You can roll, but it'll be helping Yara's roll.
Okay. I don't trust Sakuachi anymore.
Okay.
28.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was diplomacy.
Yeah, this will
My
be
perception. Perception's a plus 13 instead, so that would have been a 23.
Okay. You help Yara. I would imagine there's some glances you two exchange between each other.
Mhm.
Oh, yes.
Well, I would suggest that you. I don't think she's lying. She's kept some things from you, for sure. She might be keeping some more. It's hard to say.
You say that. Oh, go on.
Forgive that we are not receiving this warmly. We had a long talk about trust and... Well, to be frank, I've lost some in you. We've bore our souls, our bodies, our labor to bring you here. And I think it's only fair that you try to earn our trust back. How you will do that, I'm not quite sure yet, Sakuachi, but this hurts. I thought that we were, in the simplest terms, beginning to become friends.
I am sorry if you feel as if... I am sorry.
This killing gods thing. What do we know of this living god that I assume you seek to kill?
I do not seek to kill a god. I will ask for a sacrifice from them.
Ah. I believe there was something lost in translation, as the verbiage used implied heavily that the god would be the sacrifice, to which I would have probably had some sort of...
Yes.
Anyway.
That is correct.
See.
We are not the sacrifice, right?
No. The ritual to what I can only assume to be the Sosoyo. To keep them sealed away would require the sacrifice of a god.
You keep saying sacrifice of a god, but are we killing the god, or are they sacrificing, you know,
something
some meal
like...
that they regularly eat, or a hobby, a beloved hobby? What are they sacrificing?
Perhaps a
Not
boon
their
or
lives?
something.
The god themselves.
So it is to kill a god.
There is a distinction, I believe.
Are you saying that they are sacrificing being a god and will thus become mortal in the sacrifice?
Or that they're dying of their own volition in order to
Yes.
maintain the balance.
Dying of their own free will to save the world.
Oh. So you're going to ask real nicely, or?
I will do what I must.
Sacrifice.
Good luck with. Good luck.
Those aren't free. Sacrifices. Something is given up in return. What if this God asks you to get rid of us?
To get rid of you?
A trade. Power to... The visions we've seen. The memories we've retrieved. There's always a cost. And yes, this god may give themselves up, but Why have they not done so already? Why do they need you?
Because we are looking for a living god. And we hope to find one now that Zaya has spoken up of a god in Domora.
Of what I know of gods, living gods I would assume are a very rare thing, if at all, right? And I suppose my question is more so, based on my knowledge of the gods, would they be all-knowing in some sense?
So you can make a religion check, I think.
That's a 19.
Okay. You don't know all of the gods, but you know that they are all different.
Yes, some are evil.
Yeah, some are evil, some are good, some of them are more powerful than others, some of them are kind of like demigods. It kind of depends. Yeah, I think it just depends on the god.
Well, Arashtok, it is possible that this god does not have as much of a visual on everything going around. If they are a living god, they are likely limited to one spot, and therefore have limited information, yes? So they wouldn't know about what's going on at the crown of the world.
Correct. So why would they do this for nothing? We are assuming goodwill. We are assuming they wish for this to cease.
It could also be an evil god.
Yes. We may have to kill them as the sacrifice, or they may wish for something great in return. Nothing is free.
Additionally, we are finding out about this now. What else haven't you told us?
I have told you my truth.
That
Well,
is the non-answer. Your truth and other things you know can be exclusive from each other.
What do you wish to know?
everything.
I do not know what else to tell you. You know everything that I know of this situation that I can think of. If you have a question, I will try my best to answer. Like
I
all
think that
of
this
you,
is just a lot.
yes, like all of you have full lives. You cannot convey everything to me and all of us in a few minutes.
Yeah, but sort of killing a god is not like something slipped your mind. I forgot to mention, by the way, we are killing a god now.
Yes, you
That's
are
kind
correct.
of important.
You are correct. And
I
so,
suppose
your
what
friend that
we
was
would-
angry. I am sorry.
I think we're all a little angry.
I feel vindicated in my original distrust.
Sakuachi, I suppose something that you could answer now is, to what end would you go to fulfill this quest of yours? What would you sacrifice? Who would you sacrifice?
Yes.
Any sacrifice that would be required, that I would be able to make, I would make to save the world.
So you would kill us?
It is an unlikely possibility. But if
But
it meant
yes.
But if it meant saving the world, yes, I would. I would not.
And
I would look for every opportunity available before I would volunteer that as an option.
Sakuachi is young, right?
Yes.
Like a young adult.
Yes. She's
Okay.
Yeah. She's probably like 21.
And a
Actually,
human.
Probably even younger, probably like 18.
Would you sacrifice your own people? Those you grew up with, those that protected you all this time?
I hope I would not have to. Again, I would look for every possibility besides that. I do not want to hurt any of you, and I'm sorry that I have.
No, we appreciate that now you are being honest. At least you didn't try to say that you wouldn't kill us. That would have been a red flag.
This is the kind of transparency that we will require of you if you wish us to help.
Yeah,
Even
some
if
of
it
us have
hurts.
killed us. Sorry.
Can you do that, Sakuachi? Can you promise that you will not hold back? The whole truth.
I promise.
If you betray us again, holding back, withdrawing, even if it's for the sake of our own protection, I do not know if I can follow you.
I understand. Any sacrifice that must be made, I will take it upon myself before anyone else.
Back to this god thing. We are making a god not a god anymore, is what you are getting at, right?
I must be, again, as honest as I can be. I do not know much about this ritual. The first step is to find a living god.
Alright, step 1, find the god. Second step, not murder the god, or...
I will speak to them of the situation and let them know what we face.
So, capture the god, give them our demands, and if they are not met, then we murder the god.
I do not wish to murder anyone,
Alright.
but I will
You
tell
will-
them.
I believe what Sakuachi is trying to get at is that she is looking to implore to this god to see if they will sacrifice themselves. If there is some sort of price that could be paid in order to get that sacrifice indeed. I do not believe that they were given the specifics of whether that sacrifice meant death or godhood. I say glancing towards Sakuachi.
I will tell them what our situation is, and they will make whatever judgment they may. They are living gods. I do not believe that we would even be able to kill them directly. They would have to do something like this willingly.
This god, living god, how many are there? Do we know?
So Zaya speaks up, who again is very injured and it looks a little bit like she's in an anime, she's covered in bandages and stuff.
I'll help us sit up a little.
Sarkoris has a proud tradition of calling down gods. This is a place where they have walked amongst us. They have traveled through Sarkoris, and Demora was the place where this happened. They were called down to this place. If there are living gods around, we may find them there. Or call to them, speak to them. I must warn you, though, it is a very dangerous place.
Of course. But so is the danger of Osoyo. Is it not?
Is this not just a simple bandage delaying the inevitable? This will have to happen again, and again, and again. Correct?
That I do not know.
Well,
Unless
it is
Osoyo
a
is
seal.
killed.
Something happened to the seal. And if we do not return it, then the only thing that I do know is that it will be worse. So if this is
Yes.
a bandage or not, it is better than Osoyo escaping.
I do not disagree. But if we do not know what caused the seal to break, and we reseal it, it could be rebroken almost immediately, rendering what we did useless.
However, if we are to speak with a living god, someone of great divinity, whatever the alignment, so to speak, while they might have no answers, they might also have a lot of answers. Perhaps they might be able to answer how we could stop Osoyo for good.
We can go into it seeking all options.
Information.
Rather than just the one.
Indeed.
It's many ifs and perhapses and maybes. This is a very dangerous journey with little reassurance that it will do what we wish. I am hesitant.
I agree with you. It is very dangerous. But it is a journey that must be done.
Killing a god in any variation, if it leads to that, is not... Well, it doesn't sound feasible, but it also just sounds horrible.
It sounds like it would break the balance if that god is called here to restore this area. They may sacrifice himself at the cost of helping fix the world. It is one pain point for another.
Indeed.
I look over to Zaya. What do you make of all of this? This is your land. You've been here for some time. You know of gods and how they work.
I believe that, like many things in this life, it depends on the god. I do not know the gods, as you suggest. I know of Sakuachi. I know this land. And I know that many people of old Sakuachi were animists. They venerated religious leaders called god-callers. And they would summon and commune with powerful manifestations of nature, which they called gods.
You know of one such god caller?
Domora is it is named after one of them. That is... It is known to be this place. There was a Sarkorian man named Domora Hume. They summoned a powerful entity from the plane of water to protect his people from violent raiders. And he founded a city on the spot where the god manifested, and his followers and descendants worshipped the god. It was named Dizad for generations.
I suppose there are many steps between now and actually convincing a god to give themselves up for a greater cause. I think, at least of my own opinion, it doesn't hurt to get more information.
Indeed.
Go forward.
We
Don't
also
have
can
to
take...
put the knife in our hand quite yet.
If you seek
Precisely.
information... Oh, thank you for the help. If you seek information, there are ruins in Domora. It is no longer a city, it is merely ruins. And there are many dangerous creatures and demons around. But it is the only place that I know of where you might be able to find answers.
And I too know that we might be able to find answers elsewhere, Arashtak. Perhaps we take the evening and we offer our prayers to our respective gods for some sort of enlightenment.
I was thinking something similar, yes. Yes.
They typically do not like to give us much time of day, so to speak, but
Yes.
it's an avenue at least. Take the evening, everyone rests, takes care of their wounds.
We are too weary to travel.
And too weary to make some sort of decision right now, I feel.
I look over in the direction that Malovic went, and then I look at Sakuachi. I think when you've had a moment to collect yourself, you should apologize directly to Malovic. He does not owe you acceptance of it, but he's tried very hard. I think it's the least you can do for him.
Yes, you are right. I will do so now. She sits up and she inclines her head to you and will I think we'll ask, shall I go alone?
I think so.
He's
I
more
almost-
receptive one-on-one typically.
Yes, so with our Celia there, admittedly, I am not sure he would listen if it is just Sakuachi, if I am honest.
It is more honest to bear yourself, not rely on the words of someone else. If he's angry, he's allowed to be angry at you. If it becomes violent, I will intervene, of course, but I think you should have some faith in Malefic, too.
I meant more you stand by Malovic. He knows he is supported. You do not speak for Sakuachi or the apology. That is not my meaning. He is unwell.
I will be
needs-
nearby.
He also spoke of you reaching out to him when any sort of decision was made. It is the main reason that I ask.
Yes.
But if you feel
Yes.
that it is best for me to speak to him alone, I will do so. She
I will-
straightens herself out and begins to walk
I
over.
rise too, and I will walk with Sakuachi. I'll stop about halfway so Malefic can see that I'm nearby, but I will let them start the conversation alone.
Okay. Yeah, Sakuachi begins to approach you, Malvik.
Good beast.
Excuse me, Malvik?
What is it?
I wanted to apologize to you for keeping things from you.
It does not matter.
I think that
You humans will do whatever you want for your gods. No matter who or what is in the way. So you keep on your path. I will keep on mine. Danger comes to my allies. I will take action.
I am sorry if I hurt you. I must say that what I have done, I have not done for any gods. what I have done because I believed it was important, because I believed that there were many strange things happening and that I wasn't sure what was true and what was a vision that I could not believe in, something that troubled me. Things were confusing. I was not able to understand everything. And I am sorry that you and your friends risked your lives based on information that was incomplete that I had. It was not right to keep it from you. But at the time, I was shaken. I'm sorry.
I'll stand up, at my full height, and look down Sakuachi and say, in a different time, in a different lifetime, I would accept your apology, but I am out of cares for apologies. Words do not mean anything to me. Actions speak louder. The only reason why I will follow and keep on this path is for my companions. If they come in danger, I will do what I have to do. You have your own problems you need to deal with, so do I and everyone else in this band. But bringing us to this place with your selfish deeds of not explaining things earlier has put a lot of us in danger, and far more than you understand. This place creeps in your veins. Brings up things that should all be down, pushed down and sealed, but seals have been broken. I cannot guarantee your safety here, but I will say, if you're going to walk a path, make sure you walk it proud, no matter what the consequences are. Be prepared to accept them. I do not accept your apology.
I understand. I will
And for
also
that,
say
I
this.
am not sorry.
I will also say this then. You mentioned selfishness. I do what I do because I believe it to be right and because I wish to save this world. And if you think that is selfish, then so be it.
We all choose a path. I have my own path of saving the world as well. Keep that in mind. As long as you're true to yourself, that's all that matters, right?
I don't think that is true.
Well, if you want to save this world, you could have already started. All those times, all those villages, all those people that you probably passed by, did you ever stop to ask the ones that were on the streets how they feel? You ever try to give to them? Or were you on this humble path of yours in the beginning of doing things for, I don't know, mysterious reasons? You have no idea why
Mysterious
or how.
reasons.
Yes,
not
mysterious
mysterious.
reasons.
They are reasons to keep a great evil sealed away. That my people and that Einamuren have sealed away for generations and generations.
Yes.
How dare you say that I have done this in a selfish way? I I have lied to you, and I have apologized for this. I am
Yes.
sorry.
You also put us in danger. That's unselfish. For your beliefs.
For my beliefs? These are not my beliefs.
Sorry.
These are
your faithful
truths.
mission.
These are truths.
Now you speak on truths that you kept from us. It's selfish. No matter what you say, you can look deep inside yourself and
She
hope
walks
that
away.
light shines bright.
She turns and walks away.
Yes, do what many of them have done in the past. This world would be purified in its own way. You were gone without us. Or with you. It all ends the same.
She
I
walks
turn back to the horse.
She walks past Arcelia and she shakes her head. I'm sorry I tried.
I'm not
Yeah.
looking at her. I'm looking at Malavik. And I begin to walk towards him.
Why would that woman come here? All those talks of what they're doing for the world with putting others at risk. Sick of it. A lot of them. All of them. They do not believe that they're being selfish. Oh, they have been. Keeping stuff away from us that affects us all, and then speak on a fateful journey that we're all going to take together. It's all hogwash.
What she did was wrong.
It's people like her, Arcelia, that make some of us turn to the darkest places for answers.
You know?
I just want to be done with this.
We will. But we started. I think it wouldn't be a justice for ourselves or what we've been through if we were to depart and give up now.
The whispers. They're getting stronger. The deeper we get into this place. Funny thing is, it has told me of these lies. I wish to believe untruths. Everything that was said was told to me.
Hmm.
And with that, what do I feel the need that these voices are just warning me to go on a different path for a reason. I have held back, I have fought for so long. But it seems truer and truer.
That's the thing about life, isn't it? We are given all these paths, all of these complications and these burdens. But ultimately, it is up to us to decide where we want to go and what we want to do with it. I think right now, we simply don't have enough information. In fact, I think it might actually... Can't believe I'm saying this, but... There's no denying that this voice of yours, this guest, is trying to vie for control over you, is doing something to you that we don't need to deny, but maybe there is value in there being at least another voice for now. I don't think you need to succumb to it. Dare not call it master, but maybe not blocking it out might help for now.
It's going to infect you.
No.
Hey, I don't think you understand the power that's behind this voice. Garcia. What do we know what is evil and what is not evil?
good
the
and
acts of what a
evil.
person or a thing takes, yes?
Good and evil is subjective. They are
Yeah.
constructs, they're creations, they are conveniences, they are inconveniences. Any one person might say something is evil and another person might say it is good.
Yes,
It is
exactly my point.
perspective. But that's also
Exactly.
not an excuse, is it?
No, it is not. But of what some people may call evil is preventing things from happening to protect you or others that you care about. Is that truly evil? If someone kills someone in your tribe, someone close to you, you take action to get rid of that person to answer for their unjustful acts. Does that make you just as evil as that person?
To some, probably.
But what is it to you? Justice.
Justice is just as
cleaning.
fickle.
Cleaning the world of one more scumbag so they can't do it again. Is that it? But what if, Marcia, everyone pays? A clean slate wiped, reborn, rebuilt from ashes as the world was created. Then we won't have to worry about any of this anymore.
I think
Come
the
with something
idea
bigger, better.
hell or paradise, they are unrealistic. We do not live in a suspended state where one is perpetual and the other is non-existent. We live somewhere between. And the idea that we shun one and embrace the other, it's all a matter of time. It is mutable.
You speak the words, it speaks. They say the same. That is only a matter of time. The inevitable will happen. Either you're on board or you're not, but at the end of the day, you will become a part of it.
Like I
I'm
said,
glad.
I think for now, we listen. We do not take any action without speaking to the people that love us.
If it comes down to it, I will wipe out that whole tribe.
I will probably try to stop you.
There's something in their eyes. A focal point. Everything else around them is blurred. There will come a time, Marcia, where you're going to have to decide something very important, I feel. I am told. Your choice will matter.
I can feel it too. But for now, that last fight rended my armor quite a bit. Can you help me mend some of it?
Yes. I will take it over.
And I'll go about removing my armor and working with Malavik to repair it.
Okay. Is everybody resting outside? Is that what's happening right now?
I have leaned over to the lizard and I say, who was that?
I think we need to make some flashcards for you, Nicotine. I don't know why I said that. I don't. There's some sort of drug that you've put in me, apparently. I am very tired. I need to rest, clearly. Flashcards.
Got some of
I need
that
them
if you'd
too.
like it.
I definitely need them too. That was Sakuachi. Karun.
The human?
Yes, the one that we've been following. The one we do not trust terribly anymore. The one I did not trust originally, and my voice known. That is not anything I hold against anyone, by the way. I do make that clear.
I do.
You have me hold it against you?
I hold it against anyone who would just blindly trust the human who now wants us to, what is it, kill a god?
I cannot disagree.
What is it
In
that
this
humans
space.
have this necessity for killing? They always want killing, more killing. You can kill as many as you want, but you're still not enough for the humans.
To be fair, Malavek wishes this too, Karun.
I'm just saying that why couldn't she not sacrifice something else, you know? Like drinking on the weekends or eating at taverns. Why must the sacrifice be the life of a god that I'm sure we are going to have to kill? And also, for what
disagree.
purpose? Is there not any other potential solution to this? Is it only the sacrifice of a god? And by the way, once we capture a god, if possible at all, we are still going to have to issue demands, and then what if they refuse? That's just murder.
I am on the same page. I am. That is why I asked for clarification. If this god we find does not wish to die, what then?
I'll tell
What
you
do
what,
we do?
if I was a god, I would not want to die, specifically not to a human.
I also see this. I do not think this is the way to protect the balance of the world. It is constantly adding weights to a scale that is tipping against us. We have to constantly fight. Even if it is not our generation, this will happen again and again. But they say that the god callers are fewer and far between. This will not go on forever.
What kind of god? Must it be this specific one, or could we find, like, maybe the god of dandelions, or the god of tiny kittens, or something, you know?
Killing a god in any direction is still killing a god, whether they
Yes.
are of a more evil pursuit or if they are the kindest, most good person known to man and
I'll tell you
unman,
one
I
thing.
suppose.
The people who like this god are going to be very unhappy with whoever murders their god.
Even if it is a willing
Counterpoint.
sacrifice.
Counterpoint, though. If there are no people to worship these gods due to Osoyo's strength, I mean, there is a reason that Osoyo was locked away. A god does not have much strength.
Oh, so we should just get them while they're
No,
weak.
that is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they may wish to protect humanity and elven kind and everyone in between.
What do we
I do
know?
not know. I am just simply trying to... This is a lot.
What do we know about the gods? How do they derive their power? Is it from age, or is it from followers, or from
It is
worshipping?
so many different things. It depends on the god. Sakuachi even mentioned, they are sometimes but called gods, and they are not. The mosquito witch is not a god. She is a force, power, sentient, yes, but I would not call her a god. But nonetheless, many would. Many would. I do not think I would not sacrifice her. It would cause imbalance. It would cause problems. If this god that Sakuachi finds, even if they are willing, but if they are, say, god or goddess of water, and they are replenishing the life here in Sarkoris, I would be against killing it. It would cause so much more problems, at least in the long run. So you may be still, but this stays dead?
Indeed. I mean, in some cases, something that powerful, the only means of protection may just be sealing them for a longer time in order to learn how to actually kill it. The goal should be to stop it entirely. And if we can glean any sort of information from this living god, then I think that perhaps at least is a step in the right direction. I am wholeheartedly opposed to asking a god to sacrifice himself, but that is not my ask, and if the gods have led Sakuachi, in whatever way that they have, stars, to this conclusion, then that is... I suppose we'll have to see whether or not that is up to us to stop or to nurture.
One part of this entire equation that is frustrating to me is the inevitability of the murder. Not in the fact that murder is wrong, necessarily, because it's sometimes justified if everyone is counting on you to make sure that they live.
We do not hold this against you, Karun.
But the possibility that it could be that we just cannot kill a god. How does one destroy? I don't believe it can be done with mechanical means.
I mean, that would not be information that we would have in general as a populace. Perhaps the answers would lie within the ruins. Remember that. What was her name? Saya? They brought up that the ruins might have more answers.
Yes.
We still have stops along the way.
Yes. There is another issue and potential. Some of the visions may not be what Sakuachi thinks. I have tried to communicate this with them. They wholeheartedly believe they are all of good nature, whereas it is obvious and clear that Osoyo has influenced some visions of ours. What if this is the problem? What if the seal is being broken because gods are being killed? They could be holding it together. This is a wound. Wounds are not from... wounds need to be healed. If we can destroy what is healing the wound, that may cause more destabilization and problems. I am not convinced this is the answer, and I am not convinced... while the intention may be good, I do believe this.
And I really don't want to be on the bad side of a bunch of gods. Really?
That is also true, but even if the god is willing, and it would not be the bad side, then maybe the god is also ignorant. You said yourself, Yara, they may not have the full picture.
Indeed.
This could be even more of a problem than what we're in now. I do not...
This is an issue that entails us pulling at all of the strings at our disposal. We must speak with our gods if possible. Perhaps they will provide visions. Perhaps they will give us some sort of an omen. Perhaps they will not assist in whatever fashion because they find it funny to watch us flounder around like a bunch of idiots. But speaking plainly, we need some sort of direction.
I may be able to get us that.
I will commune with someone.
Joanna.
Don't speak her name.
You speak her name.
She allows me to do it because I feed her.
Oh, all right. Yes. But I may have a solution to that. I know how to speak directly to the mosquito witch.
You do?
Yes. It took demonic blood.
Oh, I have some of that. Do you want some?
Yes. Wait, what?
Yeah, I have from when Malivek and I, traded.
Yes,
what?
I would very...
It's a long story, but I have some.
I don't... Yes, that would be good.
Next, you're going to say you have celestial blood in a tube somewhere up your ass.
Well, not
Really?
yet,
No,
probably.
You have
Not-
demonic.
I wouldn't keep anything there.
Oh,
That
fair
is
enough.
a very good point, Karun.
I mean, if you're trying to keep it safe, it wouldn't be a bad option. You just
It
have
could
to
contaminate.
probably push it
the-
back up.
How fresh
Every
does
so
it have to
often.
be? Can it be kind of old? Because it was quite a long time ago.
Yes, that may be an issue. How long?
It was at least 10 sessions ago, so, you know. However long the time
yes.
span of that would be,
I remember it as if it
Yeah.
were probably a week ago.
could
Was
have been
that-
months.
Was that the demon we fought in
No,
the
it was
caravan?
Malevich when we were fighting a dragon, and then we both traded little bits of the dragon to each other, and
Oh, so you have
Had like a
dragon
whole-
blood.
is it? No, it was because is Malevich a demon?
No,
No.
but he is a
Well-
thief. that could
Infernal in nature, so to speak.
No,
So
but that-
Well,
works,
technically,
But-
then
No, we shouldn't do that. I have I do not
I
want
could
her
go
to have a
ask
taste of
Malevich really
this.
nicely.
Oh, no, no, no,
please.
I will ask.
Purity would be. Please do not, Karun. Please,
Okay.
I ask this
Alright.
of you directly.
All right.
Purity would be better for her anyway, but
purity. What?
the demonic blood purity.
Very good. All right.
That would be better for her tastes, I think.
I thought you were
And,
going to have us kill virgins or something.
No,
would've-
though she would probably like that too, admittedly. It is a sacrifice, one that is pure, but on the other side of the spectrum.
Oh, your god is much darker in terms of the whole balance thing.
I said balance,
I will
and
go
not
find
a
a tiny
god.
kitten, perhaps.
Being not a god. No, I don't think that is of her. Regardless, the demonic blood was very nourishing to my queen, my witch.
Perhaps in our travels to the ruins, we might find more.
That is why I brought it up. I also will warn, as I have noted, that I will be honest regarding all of this. I only remember bits of the vision I remembered. The speaking with her I remembered, but it was out of body, and when I came back, I believe I did consume most of the demon for her.
Has that come out yet? I know that's a strange question, but I'm oddly curious what demon looks like when it comes out of you. From a
Like
medical perspective.
most flesh?
Probably,
Perhaps
right?
darker?
Maybe. Maybe you'll have some sort of like infernal shit or something.
This was a while ago.
Oh, it was a
Yara.
while ago. Oh. You noticed
you
no
were
changes?
No, none.
I see.
It was sweet.
Well, consuming flesh aside, which is concerning.
I am just
Mildly.
saying what worked, and
Of
she
course.
was pleased. It made it so she was no longer displeased with me.
That is a good thing. And I suppose it made use of a corpse that was already about to begin festering.
Yes.
Well, perhaps we will endeavor to find more demonic energy. I am all for killing demons. And
Yes.
I will offer my prayers and see if Pharasma wants anything of me. I have no idea what it is that she wants of her.
And
Minion,
I
so
will
to
go
speak.
build a kitten trap.
Please don't try and catch cats. But to like...
Or
I do not believe there are kittens in Sarkoris, Karun.
kitten
It is-
adjacent. I could find some other thing that's like
If it is a
kitten.
demonic kitten, that could work, I suppose.
Could I potentially raise a demon and capture it? How does one go about raising a demon?
Like raising a child, they are normally sentient.
All right, I will construct a trap for something kitten adjacent. I will be back.
I don't quite understand the correlation.
Because it has to be innocent, right? Am I understanding this?
No and yes. It is.
Sort of yes.
I would say no. I will say no, Karun. I do appreciate the help. Keep an eye
What are
out
some
for
other
demons.
innocent things I could capture?
Innocence is not only the. It is more complicated.
One of the humans, maybe.
Celestial.
Celestial would be the other end of the spectrum, I think, yes.
There are
Also
bad
likely
celestials.
Celestial does not mean good. It is but a plane of existence, just as demons. It
Yes,
is
it is
also
divine.
a plane.
Divine does not necessarily mean good.
If we had to fight one, I was prepared for it.
I attempt to hide the look of shock and horror on my face. Well, I am going to finish tending to everyone's wounds, and then I am perhaps going to offer up my prayers to Pharasma. I doubt she will answer. She's been incredibly cryptic with me.
Will not hurt.
Certainly.
Human baby, maybe.
No, Karun, please.
All right.
I will inform you of things that could work when I
All right.
commune. And your help is appreciated.
All right.
Thank you.
Indeed.
GM, a question. The Dr. Frankenstein fella.
Valmar. But you
Valmar,
didn't know his name. But yeah.
I did not know. What species were they?
Hard to say. Nobody
That
really.
is why I am more interested.
Yeah, nobody really investigated thoroughly on Valmar.
I might do so.
Okay.
There are still creatures down there, as a heads up.
What? Oh.
We only dealt with him, yes, and then we fled.
They
They
contained?
made sure to close the door before they left.
They are contained. They are contained?
I believe so. I believe we should probably nail down some logs or something on top of the well, though, if we wish not to fight those things.
No, that is fair. I will not. He could have been one of the sacrifices I noted.
There may also be more information down there. We didn't explore the entire place.
I am not opposed to this. There was also the supply room, which we were not. We were hasty with. They had potions.
And paintings.
You grabbed all that shit. You left the painting.
We did grab every single potion and thing. I did not know we looted that. Oh, we did not grab the paintings, though. You are right, but I did not know if I am conflicted on the paintings.
But there are multiple
I will
creatures.
ask Malevich for the blood.
No. I will be honest. I do not know if it is a good idea for the mosquito witch to have a taste for tiefling.
Oh, yeah, good point. All right.
He is also very agitated at the moment.
What about the halfling?
No, Karun.
I thought you
Yes,
loved
Celestial.
halflings!
Not
I
a
do,
halfling.
but-
Again, gnome.
You know, what about the little guy?
I thought you loved little guys.
I do love little guys,
That's
but you know,
probably why you're suggesting it. Yes, something you love.
the innocence of them.
Yes. Again, we will stick to the celestial or the demonic planes, I think,
Alright.
is the best.
All right.
Yes, perhaps we prepare for bed. We have much to think on.
All right.
Thank you for your counsel and understanding.
You don't have to show the little guy. Adorable. Just going to pop you in my pocket.
Poor Zaya.
Yep.
Little monkey tail backpack.
Very well.
A little pineapple freeze. We are going to Disneyland. Adorable.
Disneyland.
Adorable.
Let me know, Yara, on your communing. I apologize for any discomfort I may have wrought.
I prefer it over dishonesty. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
for what?
Not mistrusting me. I am... This is the sort of thing that got me removed.
Your
I am
balance is slightly different than mine, to be sure, but you have given me no reason to distrust you.
I would not let any of you come to harm. And I think the Mosquito Witch knows this, and she would know that I would forsake her if she asked of it. It would mean my life, but I would not. I would not.
I reach up and I hug him.
I hug back, though it is awkward.
You're a true friend, Rashtak.
As are you.
We'll figure it out.
Yes, I am unworried, on our side at least. I will do my preparations. I will not commune, but I will set up my shrine.
I will offer an awkward prayer, I suppose. Still don't know how that works.
To what?
It's Phrasma. Prayer
You know
in general.
how to commune to your goddess?
Yes, I'm not a cleric of Phrasma. I'm some random person that Phrasma plucked and was like, here, have a curse, do my bidding, without really telling me what her bidding exactly was, and then providing prophetic visions in which, I don't know, I almost walk into the water, or perhaps that was not her doing, and that was the doing of Asoyo, just fucking with my brain, I don't know.
But
But I mean,
you
I
are
offer...
chosen of a goddess. That is more direct and intimate than, but a cleric, that is... A cleric chooses, you were chosen.
Was I chosen? I was given some sort of a curse.
Is it a curse? Or is that how you view it?
Well, it has been a difficult thing to really grasp, I suppose.
If I may be bold here before I rest, I think your doubt and your mistrust is holding you back. Is that not why why would she communicate with you directly if you believed her gift is a curse?
So you think that it is a gift that I might trade my life force for these abilities?
Do you think helping others is a curse?
No.
You do it willingly every time, yes?
Yes, despite the immeasurable pain.
Even more so.
suppose that I did not exactly think of it that way. I enjoy having powers, don't get me wrong, but
You are using it to help those and follow your own beliefs. She has given you this ability, albeit with a drawback. Nothing is ever free and without cost.
perhaps it is my skepticism that, indeed, as you've said, has held that back. But I've never been one to blindly trust someone who doesn't... I can't look in the eyes. You know?
Yes. But you still use the power. That feels one-sided to me.
That is true.
That may be why she does not speak to you like you wish.
Well, as always, you have given me much to ponder.
I have that way. Apologies, I did not mean to give a crisis of faith.
Oh, there's certainly a crisis.
Oh.
But perhaps a good one. Perhaps one that shall strengthen the bond, so to speak.
That is a hope. I will leave you to it.
So when you offer, so I've done, the funeral rites thing. Lady of the Graves, blah blah blah. Take them back into your arms, yada yada. But what sort of things do you say in a prayer? Do you suck up? Do you just be honest?
On the context, when
great and wonderful for Asma that I know fuck all about.
That would probably not go over well. If that is the attitude of your heart, that is likely why. Has that been your heart?
Well, not necessarily, but I suppose it's more so a question of format.
It depends. When your visions you've spoken of with her, yes? Was there formality there?
Well, I did not speak. So perhaps that is a formality in and of itself.
Yes.
It was a sentencing of sorts. It was some sort of trial.
What was the ruling?
Well, that I would be useful, I suppose.
Then that is what you ask.
Have I been useful?
And how can you be? If you are not doing what your goddess wills, they will let you know. And the cryptic messages are likely that. Mosquito Witch let me know. She very much did.
Very well.
Speak honest. Speak what you ask. And ask how you can give back in return. Do not see what you have as a curse, but a boon, since you use it as such.
I just do not wish to be greedy. There are so many questions.
They will let you know if you are greedy.
My sister's fate was in question as well.
Ask.
Don't know if I want to know that answer.
Then do not.
Oh, that is so very unhelpful.
I cannot tell you what your heart desires. Only you.
All right. I'll give it a shot.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I do not doubt you'll find what you are looking for, Yara.
Let's hope.
Have a good rest.
You as well. Fuck, how do I do this? Do I do it? All right. I'll clasp my hands together. I don't have any candles or anything. I'm sorry if that's disrespectful. I don't particularly know exactly what sort of things to do to offer prayer to you in particular. I should probably look into that. Don't expect an answer. But, Pharasma, Lady of the Graves, if you prefer that, I'm not sure. As you are well aware, we are in quite a pickle. And you have already given me interesting powers that I am very grateful for. However, I must admit the visions I've had have been mildly, if not very, confusing. Not to say that I do not appreciate them. I very much so appreciate the visions. Thank you. Enlightenment, one of my favorite things. I love knowledge. I'm fucking this up, aren't I? Anyway, Pharasma. I am unsure of what exactly you desire of me. I only know that I'm of some use, and I hope that I have been of use, and I hope that I have been fulfilling the purpose of which you have desired so of me, without really giving much information. Not that you have to. You don't. At all, really. I would just really prefer it. I'm floundering. I'm doing my best. But, I am very lost. And we are dealing with means that are far beyond just man in general. I know that you do not probably wish to have any sort of conversation with me, but any sort of any guidance, anything at all, would be very beneficial. And, I'm sure you heard my conversation. Maybe, if you were listening. I don't know what it is you do. I wish to know of Vera.
Please make a religion check.
Do I keep a 28? I have a reroll, but I'm gonna keep the 28.
Okay. Something odd happens, Yara. You don't notice when it happens, but everything's gone silent. The sounds of the Needle Glens, the small forest that is still somehow thriving in Sarkoris, has gone silent. Everything has faded to black and white. Not shades of gray, black and white. There's no sound except the sound of your heartbeat. And the ground itself below you has lost its color. It is black, and the fire for the campsite has lost its light. It is just a white, almost phosphorescent sort of glow. But it gives off no light to your skin. Pharasma is the goddess of birth and prophecy and death. And this black and white response, this is Pharasma's response to you. This is the way that Pharasma sees the world, black and white. And your understanding of that becomes clear to you. And that Pharasma does not care about what brings someone to her. Pharasma only knows that this person had a destiny, and that she will judge this person and send them to an appropriate outer plane. The fact that you can hear your heartbeat amidst this black and white tells you that you are alive. You, as you are now, are alive. And Pharasma has no care about how anyone arrives. And yet here you are. You remember this moment where you faced Pharasma for judgment. And your sister Vera did. And that you were sent back, which, from most people's understanding of Pharasma, is something that Pharasma would normally never do. Pharasma has one defining characteristic in her hatred of undead. You are not undead. You are alive. You were brought back for a reason. And that when your reason is done, you will return. And if you complete your task, Vera will return. And the task before you that Pharasma has set is now illuminated to you. You see, amongst the black and the white, this whale flying in the sky, in the darkness, made of stars. And as it calls into the night with its whale song, the black and the white, Pharasma's world shakes. There is silence, and there is peace here. Most people would see this and, I think, be scared that a creature could see things in such a way. But it is peaceful. Nonetheless, and this creature is ruining the balance. And when you begin to realize these things, the black and white fades with the silence. The sounds of the forest return. And while you got no direct answer, you maybe understand a little bit more about Pharasma.
I slouch back, kneeling. Before I go to bed, I will cry for much time.
Does anyone else want a scene?
Innocence, 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 innocence.
Is everyone going to sleep? To rest?
Yes, I have my mosquito candles about me.
Okay.
I have my off spray. I'm just kidding. Yes, we're all asleep.
A monitor! Fluff my pillow!
I will
Yes.
have my bedroll next to Malavic's, and I'll sleep next to him tonight.
Okay. Is anybody taking watch?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yes.
If you wake me, I'll take watch at my turn, but otherwise I will be sleeping.
I will take first watch.
Very well. Please make a perception check for me. 15?
Yes, 15.
Fair enough. Okay. Please make a will save for me, Arcelia.
20. I'll use my one and only hero point.
Okay.
21.
Sure. Malavik, I need to ask your opinion about something. Arcelia sees some things tonight.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Arcelia sees in the shadows?
Oh, shit.
I'm sorry.
Why is the response just
Wow.
cackle?
Definitely don't like that.
Everything will be fine.
But I used my only hero
I'm
point.
sorry. It was the face you made. Okay. Yes. So, as if Arcelia looks at Malavik while he's sleeping, his breathing is slower. And every time the light flickers and he exhales, the shadow grows and grows and grows. Darkness where the light was hitting becomes to be cold. You start to notice that there are parts of the shadow that doesn't line up with me. They reach out to you. They go to your, wherever the shadow is, where your hand is. As you see the bond of blood boil on your hand, and you try to snap in and out of it to make sure, to see if it's an illusion or reality. The blood turns to darkness and flickers to a blue flame. When you squint your eyes and shake your head, it's still there. When you go to reach out for it, goes away, leads towards Malavik. Shadow shrinks. Breathing starts to speed up. It all seems to be normal. What did that mean? Is this a mere coincidence? Is it a sign? Whispers, very slight, almost far off in the distance, evade your mind. Then they slowly fade.
It feels like an invitation. And I'm curious. I'm observant and I follow, and I'm standing over Malavik as he sleeps there on the ground. I see.
Do you see? Do you truly see?
Perhaps not the whole picture, but I'm listening.
Listening with your ears, opening your mind. That's the only way to truly listen. Deep in your body burns a flame, Marcia. You were made to serve us. Not in a way that these mortals serve their gods, but a deeper primordial servitude. Your understanding tonight reached Malavik, also reached me. You just need to speak of my name. All truths will be given to you. No more lies. No more fake innocence. The truth behind the word justice, as you said, is subjective, along with good and evil. My father did not see this, hence why the battle continues. Aid Malavik on his journey, and you will be rewarded.
I suppose this is a good time as any for us to make an introduction. You look into me and you see a flame, but I think it is a bit presumptuous for you to try to give it a name.
Oh, Arcelia. Everyone burns with the light inside. Play innocent all you want. There is something hidden inside you. It has not come out as of yet, but once the right trigger is plucked, it will show its teeth.
More than acquainted with it.
Good.
I know all about it. I am no stranger. But you are. I don't know you.
You do know me, Arcelia. Everyone knows me and my power. Think. Create creation comes from ash that once burned a flame. What once was created has to be destroyed so that new life can be born. The purity always ends in fire. Now think of your creators.
You say you will give illumination. But Malavik seems so uncertain. If he is to be your instrument, you seem to be having a difficult time wielding it.
When your time comes, when his time comes, all will be made clear. But beings like me, we do not force ourselves on others. That's petty. That's rulings of the gods that you're like to serve.
So you are not a god?
Something more. What do they teach you, younglings, now? They do not teach you your history. The very world that you stand on, Galarian, once belonged to my kind. Me.
I would like to try to see if I get anything out of what is being told to me.
What regard?
Speaking of ancient history before gods, does that mean anything to me?
I mean, it'd be like a history check. I mean, it'd be a lore check. You have anything that might help?
All I've really got is occultism, religion, society, esoteric, but I don't think esoteric is right here.
No, I don't think it is either. This would probably be society, I would say.
All right. 13.
No idea.
You speak of a time and people that predates my own. We are entering an age of enlightenment. Perhaps you should speak more plainly.
Is that what they're calling it now? Perhaps you are not ready. Perhaps you are not the flame that I thought could be kindled. In due time, Arcelia, you will be put to the flame. Depending on how you burn, answers will come to you. Look within, Malavik. Access your surroundings, those that you think are companions or those that you feel are on the right path. Everyone has their price.
It was good to meet you, and I'm certain we will speak again.
Oh, yes. Yes, we will. I have plans for someone like you. Just as this pup here. He came to me, you know, when he was young and weak. The strength that burns inside this one was promising. Let's just say his mother will never lay another hand on him.
As this voice is saying this to me, I kneel down carefully next to Malavik and I pull the blanket over him and essentially tuck him in here. And I say, perhaps the Malavik isn't alone anymore.
He was never alone. Our
Get up.
fathers were wrong.
I will walk away from Malavik and continue my watch.
He was never alone.
The fire campfire has a bluish tinge that you notice as you walk away. Begins to fade back to its normal color.
I turn away from the fire. I cast my eyes to the darkness around us.
Very well. Your watch ends.
Rashtok.
Yes.
Sorry to wake you. I need to get a bit of shut-eye. Rest my wounds.
Yes, of course. Was the watch uneventful?
I look sideways over to Malavik. I suppose, yes. It seems... I flex my hand, the one that has the blood bond carved into it. It seems that Malavik and I, our connection is... It hosts an unwanted guest. I am able to speak to the creature.
That means it may try to influence you forcefully as well.
It did mention that it will not do so.
I apologize. That is a lie.
I know.
Good.
This would not be the first time I was threatened by a captor. I understand bondage, and I will not see myself brought to it again.
Will you see Malavik brought to it?
If I can have a hand in it, of course not. But there are some fights that we cannot take for other people.
No. What if he's lost already?
He's not. I have hope.
When he speaks the words the creature inside him does, I lose that hope.
The fact alone that the creature hasn't taken complete control
Is
does that
somewhat
not mean
hard.
anything?
If we had spoken its name and its words, I think it would have. It
Well,
was ready.
Perhaps. You know what that means to me? That I divine from that. Malavik's relying on our hope, our
Yes,
faith.
that is why I speak against him. That creature does not like me at all.
It seems to like me, but it's going to find me a difficult catch. Don't you worry. I speak to you transparently about this because communication will be an armor of sort.
Yes. Yes. It may be wise to return to the well. If we can find some water there,
Yes.
I may be able to use that. The water the dragon cave would have cured his thirst. I am all but certain of it. If we
Leyline here
find some-
is overwhelming. I'm sure we will find something.
Yes, and Malavik promised he would drink it.
Yes.
That would be the test, and to see if your words hold. I know you speak truth from your heart, but I mean against his.
I understand. Well, if nothing else, then I will go take my rest.
I will watch.
Wake me at the first sign of trouble.
Yes.
Good night.
Yes, I will. Rest well, Celia.
I will join Malavic's side and nestle down for the night.
I light more mosquito candles around me before my watch ends.
Sure. The smell of blood surrounds you.
Good.
I would ask for a perception check, please.
I will give it a 25.
Okay. Your watch goes by without any issues, Rashtak. Nothing seems to crop up for you.
Good.
3 hours pass. There is one more watch for a full night of sleep.
Yes, I will go to Karun. And Karun usually needs less rest.
Innocence.
I don't know if I should interrupt that.
Innocent.
Karun?
Hello. Listen, hello. I was just sleeping.
You are speaking to Joanna? Apology. The one who resides in your cross.
Yes. Is it my turn to watch?
Yes, it is. Are you able?
Yes, of course. We will watch.
I did not wish to interrupt.
No, do you still want a baby, or have we moved past
No,
that then?
I have said celestial or would be the best.
A celestial baby, or
No, it's a celestial being or a
Alright.
demon. That's it.
Alright.
No babies needed, Karun.
so I can just tear down the
Can.
baby trap then. All right.
Yeah, that would be wise. Also, likely not fruitful here.
All right.
Thank you for your consideration. I do mean that, Karun.
And you don't want me to catch anything else, right?
No,
All right.
from what I gather, freshly slain in combat seems to be ideal.
Okay. Can do.
Thank you, Karun, for your consideration. I pat you on the shoulder.
Of course.
Are you well? Before I rest?
No, I'm good. I'm great. Just waking up.
You do not sleep, though.
Well,
You
not really. I
huddle
just
in-
kind of heave in the corner.
Yes.
Makes my
that's-
throat kind of dry.
Do you wish for some tea, the numbing kind?
I'm all right. I think I'll manage.
Oh.
Have a good sleep.
I will. Thank you
Right.
for supporting me and not judging, Karun.
Of course. I'm always on your side, listen.
That is
Go
appreciated.
to sleep. Go.
I will.
Corinne takes just a little, one of the little vials, and just absolutely pounds one of these. And as it takes hold of my veins and courses through my elven biology, I will walk into the woods a short ways and tear down the baby trap.
Okay.
First we want baby, and then we don't want the baby, and then it has to be celestial baby. I'm just muttering as I tear down the human baby trap. I take the human food out. I go back and begin the watch.
Very well. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right, and with the does the eagle eye elixir affect this at all? Bonus to perception checks that is greater when attempting.
Find secret doors and traps.
Oh no, so I guess not. That's all right. Or wait, no, the bonus is +2 or +3 when you try to find doors and traps. So it is
Right.
plus
You
two
get a
bonus.
plus. You get a +1. Oh no, you get a
Plus-
+2. Correct.
+2.
+2.
All right. Yeah, the pupils have even dilated more, and good thing too, because where am I again?
Yeah. Give me a survival check, please, Karun.
All right.
Okay.
What was I eating again?
All right. It takes you a while to get back to camp, Karun. You get lost on the way. You do the thing, if anybody's ever been lost in the woods before, you're like, okay, that tree? Oh shit, that is not the tree that I remember
I don't
before.
recall this tree.
Mhm.
I've walked by this other tree 4 times now. The drugs are beginning to hit. I'm getting really like pins and needles in my extremities.
A bunch of time passes here, Karun.
This is not the first time this has happened, by the way.
Yeah.
I am ashamed to admit. This happens regularly. I even have low light vision. It shouldn't happen like this, but I do because of all the drugs.
Huh?
I will quit tomorrow.
Eventually, you find your way back to camp, probably right about as people are waking up.
I'm going to pretend like I have been here the entire time.
Breakfast.
Make a deception check, please, Karun. Or a stealth check, I'll take either.
I see we are finally awake from our slumbers.
Quite.
Anybody that thinks they might have noticed Karun strolling into camp just now can make a perception check.
Arcelia is looking for
we'll have to beat the
food.
26
29 and a natural 20 from death.
Wow. I'm
Karun
not
is
rolling.
struggling not to giggle from all of the drugs.
Yeah. Yara, Arashtak. Karun was definitely like not in the camp. You see Karun just like stroll in from the woods, you know, around you. Definitely like at the bare minimum, she went to go pee or something, but was not in the camp when you woke up.
We're going to have to work on the honesty thing, aren't we?
I don't know
I
what
say,
you're
rubbing
talking
my eyes.
about.
Well, you just got back. I saw you.
I had to. I was looking at a very. Why are you looking at me like that?
Can I see if Karun is on drugs?
You cannot, because I hold it very well.
I also have a very high medicine skill.
Oh wait, no, not that one, not that one.
Didn't we always
22.
just assume that Karun's
already-
just always
you've-
on something?
You've already made a deception check.
This is for playing it cool.
Right, but that's part of the previous check, I think. Yeah. Karun is usually on some kind of drug.
Yeah.
Not at the moment though. The elixir would have worn off by now.
All right. Well, whatever.
Spent over an hour in the woods.
Yes,
Is that what
3
you're saying?
hours. You were lost for 3 hours in the woods.
We could have fucking died!
I have a pocket full of frogs for some reason. I've got lots of grass in my hair.
I'm going to point at the grass and just look at Arashtok and then just wave a hand flippantly. Perhaps we should eat and discuss our next moves then?
Yes. Yes, that would be wise. I can get some breakfast together.
I'm already at the fire. I'm poking you with the stick, and I'm just watching Arashtok's every move with puppy eyes.
By the way, Arashtok.
As I'm like getting some bread together and some eggs.
Your advice. It worked.
You see Rustok smile in his terrifying many teeth smile. That is wonderful.
I understand my mission now. And the cost.
That is very good to hear.
Anyway, I'm going to start packing things. Let's start packing things, yep. Very good.
Yara, are you happy to hear that?
I am appreciative of answers, even if they weren't entirely all that I wanted. To receive some sort of vision from a god is indeed a blessing. To packing! Yes.
We can discuss later if you wish.
Well, it reinforces my answers to what we're going to be doing with the foreseeable future, so we'll talk when we eat.
Yes.
I'm starving. Do you have
I-
human baby? Food. Human food. Or food for the rest
I'm
of us?
packing! I didn't hear that!
I am making food, Karun. Celia would likely take it from the bag I have if I do not. I've seen you do it.
The Reclaimers will also be casting some spells. They will be producing water and creating some water for you all.
I mean, I have
of
2
thin
entire
air?
barrels of water, but that's very nice.
From a
I
spell,
like that.
yes.
Yes.
How much water?
A good amount. I think you can do something like 20 gallons or something.
Yeah, it's,
They
wa-
can
it's,
just
a,
do
it's a
this?
lot. Yes, it's a lot.
So definitely enough for everyone to drink and fill their canteens.
Let me just double check. But I feel like it was like a stupid...
2 gallons.
2 gallons. 2 gallons, I'm sorry.
But if it's only if it's
right.
many of them casting it, that's different. If it's only one.
Alright. I was thinking, could they just cast it anywhere? Could you drop water on things?
Yes, but I can too.
You can do this as well?
Have you not seen me rouse?
Well, I guess
with
now
the
that makes
splash?
sense with the ice. I've seen you do ice before.
No,
I guess
I've
that
dropped.
makes sense.
Just yesterday, I dropped water on Malevich.
Oh,
What?
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, do you not recall
Groot
that?
slowly hides the drugs back behind her arms. No.
When you are
Yes.
being possessed.
Yeah. Possessed.
Yes. And I dust water on you, and it pulled you back to us. Do you not recall this?
Maybe you are imagining this, Lizard. I don't think anyone remembers.
No, I remember.
Most everyone was on the ground close to death. Except for the creature that is in Malevich.
That makes a lot of sense.
Can I eat more of your food?
Yes, I am. Yeah, miss. And I give you more eggs and things. Yeah, there's cutlery. All right.
No, it's okay.
Is there extra water?
Zaya will say, "Is there any that you need?"
It would. Well, no. I should clarify. We have barrels of water that we have been tapping into. It was more if there is extra, we could refill them. But if there is not, that is all right.
All of the reclaimers have the ability to produce water. It is one of our.
Dogs.
This is one of our most important abilities, our spells.
I do not wish to take it from you then, if it is of importance.
It's fine. We can cast this spell.
Ah, very well.
The purpose of it is to help us survive.
Very well. Then I pull out the jug that we've been the barrel we've been tapping into, since I have 2 barrels full of water in the bag of holding, and pull out the one we've been using.
Sure.
Uncork it. If they refill it, great. I won't worry about managing any of the water. Perfect.
Yeah, no problem.
How much water can you create?
Every time the spell is cast, 2 gallons.
Mind casting it multiple times? I would like to wash off all this blood and filth on me.
Oh, yes. We have a tub if you want to fill up a tub.
I'll go off and look for the tub.
As part of their supplies, they'll have like a tub. It's not huge or anything. I mean, you have to squish to get in there, but
It's fine with me.
It's probably teeny tiny like they are.
Zaya is the only gnome in the group.
Adorable.
A question for everyone. I think it is wise if before we leave, to check the well for any other information and supplies we can glean. It still has the creatures, I am aware, but we are rested and prepared now.
So I suppose we can give it a shot. Perhaps there'll be more things that can help us in our journey.
That is my thought. We are here. It was designed to be lived in and survived in for a while. I think there may be more to it.
Didn't I see some paintings down there?
You did. I saw them too.
If the one group of a gesture over to the former prisoners, one group of them stumbled through here, it's possible that another might.
Yes.
Cleared out, it could be safe for the next group of travelers that come.
If you're speaking about the burrow for that Valmar person, I remember him saying that he needed more supplies. I think there was part of the reason that he captured us.
Do you know any more of the anatomy of the place? If past the room that you were found in, if there was any other location or a hallway?
Not much. We did get one look through the place before the skin beetles found us. There doesn't appear to be much more. I think you might have cleared most of it out.
Was there it's an old well. Is there water in there somewhere?
No.
What about coins for wishing?
Coins?
Never mind.
Is it a wishing well?
Is it the wishing well?
the wishes that were made here probably wouldn't be anything I'd want to know of.
I'm just saying there could be an abundance of wishing coins we could take.
I don't think so.
What will you do? And what are we going to do? As I look around at everyone.
Well,
Yes.
you helped us. Whatever you need help with, if you need help in Sarkoris, we're happy to help you. If you need us to take you to Demora, we can do that.
Guides
The
will not
ruins.
be unappreciated. Oh, yes!
The runes you made mention of previously. Would you be able to act as some sort of a guide to bring us there?
Yes.
I believe that is our first stop.
I have been there before. Demora.
You have,
Yes.
indeed.
What was your original destination before you were captured?
Well, none specifically. We are surveyors, I suppose you could say. We are trying to assess the damage in full and attempt to find the best course of repairing the damage here in Sarkoris. What we've been able to tell thus far, it's a lot of it can be recovered, we believe, with the potential damming of parts of the river, allowing some of the river water to run through Sarkoris. Clean sources of water, not polluted with demon refuse.
All right, well, give us a moment to, we'd like to have a private conversation to make up our mind on what our next course of action will be, please.
Of course.
And, once we're alone, ideally separate even from Sakuachi and the others, just the five of us.
Sakuachi would have been like giving you space, for sure.
Okay.
So we are crafting a tiny little backpack for the child, right? That we can wear,
They are grown
and then they can,
people.
so that their little
adults.
legs don't get tired.
They have packs and things.
So no.
Do your legs get tired, Karun? Do we need to get a backpack for you?
No.
Oh,
I could carry you if you get tired.
No, I'm just saying.
On task, on task.
All right.
Well, we seek more information before we make any sort of definitive, decision on our involvement with this living god, so to speak, right? So I think, regardless of anything, our next step is very clear. We travel to these ruins and see if we can glean anything.
What is this living god you speak of? What are they? Are they physical? Are they in where we're going?
Physical. A living god would imply that they are a being that we are able to see, hear, speak to, possibly if they grant some sort of an audience or whatever the protocol is.
To do what?
Now, that is not a decision that we are making quite yet.
Who's making the decision?
we
You
will.
missed a lot.
Yes,
missed a lot.
we did.
There... That sacrifice that Sakuachi made mention of, that you were there for, it would be that the god would have to sacrifice themselves in order to prolong the seal on Osayo. Yes, we are just as skeptical as you, Malavik.
There's
We are.
always something. Always. You
Malavik.
walk up to a god and say, hey, you sacrifice yourself for people that ruin this land every day. Those who look at others, look down upon others, watch them die in the streets.
Malavik,
For what reason?
we seek answers as of right now. That is all. They may be the key, perhaps, to finding some way to actually stop Osayo.
You ever took
Perhaps
a
they
chance?
might. What was that?
You ever took an interview? Step back and thought that maybe we're following the wrong cause.
I have.
That
Yes, I have. Definitely.
A creature that made us lose our memories. Possibly. This whole phenomena, a creature that was sealed away because they are a very, very problematic thing.
Sakuachi came to me and spoke of saving the world. Saving the world.
From Osayo.
That we know nothing about.
Which is why we would like to learn more, Malavik. I had a vision last night. I awkwardly offered my prayers to Pharasma. It is of my opinion, until we get more information, that I would like to pursue this possible sealing or destruction of Osayo.
What's the deal? There's always a deal that's being struck.
Osayo is an imbalance in Galarian. The gods see that. I was brought back from certain doom in order to pursue this. And in exchange, my sister may be brought back.
Are you saying that you, as you are, is tied directly to Osayo? Is that what your
My
vision told you?
My perspective is that I died somehow. That I was brought back as who I am now. In a very peculiar fashion, I might add. Duskwalkers are normally raised in villages of Duskwalkers. They are taught the culture. They are babies. They are born. They are reincarnation, essentially. So yes, Pharasma saw that there was an imbalance caused by this creature, and for whatever reason, I don't know, thought I would be fit to join you all on this path.
The question that lingers is why so many of us, we're not the only ones. This mark upon all of us, Sakuachi called a name to it. We don't know how many have this mark. Why, if this is the only thing? So many unanswered questions leads me to believe that we are pawns being toyed with, pushed around. If gods are so powerful, why aren't they doing this themselves? Why do they rely on us, weaklings, to carry out these misuse deeds? Where we could be doing other things. Imbalance in power. It always
If you were a
leads to-
king, Malavik, in control of many soldiers, many advisors, many people, many pawns on a board, would you do everything yourself? Perhaps there is work that the gods are doing behind the scenes that we are unable to perceive. Perhaps not. Perhaps they don't give a shit. But this is an imbalance.
If I was
Osayo
a king, you asked. Well, I had to make sure those that sacrifice their lives for me understand the true cost behind it, what they're fighting for. There'll be no questions asked, only answers
Malavik,
given.
The cost is destruction. Osayo has already... We are aware of the destruction that Osayo
Are
has
we?
caused.
Why was it put here in the first place?
I do not know. But
All
neither...
I'm asking is to be open-minded, Yara.
Of course. But if my sister is at stake, I am pursuing this. Skepticism or not.
There it is. I look towards Arcelia.
As what, Malavik? Do you think I would sacrifice any of you for that? My sister is dead.
I did not say that.
No, but your eyes said it.
No, my eyes say that there's
Then
always...
speak your truth, Malavik, instead of fucking talking in riddles. If you have something to say about me, say it.
The fire burns in the soul, Yara. Even you. Even though you're cold to the touch. The flames of destruction is inside of you because they know what and right buttons to press. What to say. What to offer. You are not very far off different than me. I feel your pain, your confusion, your wants. At the end of the day, we have to know what we're actually fighting for.
We won't know what we're fighting for unless we search for answers, which is the whole fucking point, Malavik. That is what I want. I've made it clear since the beginning of this conversation that I want answers. Since the beginning of this adventure that I want answers!
Yes. Your rage says so. And I'm not disagreeing with you. I just know in the end, when they pull our strings, when they dig underneath our skin to the very moment of us breaking, we are going to make our decisions based on what we feel is right, whether it's good for everyone or not.
Who's they?
Regardless
The
of who
gods.
they are, regardless of the gods. Do I strike you in our entire time together as somebody immoral, as someone selfish?
I did not say that. What I am
But the
saying
implication
is,
was there, Malavik.
No. We have to be careful. But at the end of the day, the inevitable will always happen. I told you I will fight beside you. And I have.
No.
But I will say, so far the whispers in my head that have just been quiet until we came here now are screaming, yelling. Everything that is said has come true. Everything that it's bearing into me has shown its face. The lies from Sakuachi. The grandeur, the temptation of feeding on our desires are there. At the end of the day, I don't know what to believe anymore.
Do you believe in us, Malavik?
I do. But I also believe that whatever course of actions are going to happen, whether we do what we say we're going to do or not. We are just a party of little. What are the others doing out there?
Malavik, we are so much more than that. Have you not seen what we've done already?
I'm not.
Have you seen everything we have done? The people's lives we have changed, the places we have saved, the destruction we have wrought. We have so much power as small creatures living on this planet.
Yes, but that power is not of our own, and we have taken lives. Everyone that we cut down belonged to someone else, Yara. It doesn't make us any heroes than it does villains.
I am not claiming to be a hero, Malavik, and I am not claiming that any of us are heroes. I am just saying
Yes.
that I plan to stop Osayo, and if you would like to be with me there for that, then fine.
I do not have any rejections to your plan of destroying something that's inevitably more powerful than the gods, since they're sending us to do their dirty works.
That is not necessarily
But
true.
I will say this, Yara, you finally got a message from your goddess. Congratulations. Hold on to the little knowledge of yourself, a gut instinct if you still have it. No matter what
If
promises
I
they give.
still have it.
Do not take my words as a negative. I question my own.
just questioned whether I have a will of my own for a god that I barely know.
I do realize that you woke up in more higher spirits than normal. Your face showed hope.
My sister is dead!
Yes.
Malavik, this is my only course of action.
I understand, but you're not hearing me. I just want us all to be conscious of the decisions that we make. And when we do make those decisions, that we stick to them. I understand you look at me and Foss and say that, yes, Malavik, you're the one to speak on that. But my mind is open, and I listen to all voices.
Is that why you were willing to let us die?
Let you die.
Yes.
I
had to take action so that you didn't abandon us, Malavik. Do you remember this? You did save us. After I intervened while they were on the ground dying, while Arcelia was bleeding out.
There was no.
You have no right to speak to Yara this way.
There was nothing.
You abandoned her.
There was darkness.
Yes, that you allowed.
I was a child
Do
again.
not speak this way.
I was in a corner.
No, you
looking
let
at you through a
yourself
window.
be there.
No, we are all
playing.
in a corner, Malavik.
Everyone else was outside, being hugged by their parents and children.
Trying to save you.
There was only whispers.
I was yelling.
There was only
You
fire.
were not listening.
There was
You
only.
say these whispers are so loud, Malavik.
There was
You do,
only
yes?
purity.
Where are you, Malavik? Where are you?
There was only ashes.
No! There is your friends dying.
There was screaming than peace.
Yes, I was screaming, and when you listened, there was peace, Malavik.
The
I
peace was
asked
a world finally purified.
Are you going to fight for us or
Flowers grew
against
from
us?
ashes, Arashtak.
No.
There
You
is
say-
no more quarrels.
No. If everyone is dead, there is no quarrels. You're right.
The trees grew bigger than I've ever seen before.
Malavik,
The wind underneath wings felt freeing.
Malavik, you have spoken to us of caution, of being wary. What of these things you're seeing? How are they any different to what Sakuachi might be seeing?
Because they finally gave me hope.
Then what do you think I'm talking about?
I did not disagree with your.
It is not disagreement that I have an issue with, whether or not you are or not. There is a very palpable distrust of anyone who does not specifically share this very, very obscure vision that you are speaking of, that you have not given me any information
I
on.
distrust we're following in the mission that they put us on. You're right, you
Malavik,
were many a time
I distrust who you are following. Because that is what you are doing. You are following something. What? I do not know. You have not given me a clue as to what it is. All I know is that I was begging for help, and there was some sort of entity inside of you saying, "Call my name if you want help." What am I supposed to do with that?
Did you
What are the
call
promises I made to you, Malavik?
Speak the
Malavik,
name.
should I take your life
Then
for that?
why not? If you were screaming in pain and it was offering a way out, why not?
Because we wanted you. Not
It does not
it.
matter if they're
Yes,
going
you
to
do.
die. We don't know what would have happened.
Do you not matter?
I have power.
Do you not
Because-
matter? You, Malavik.
In the grandest scheme of things, I don't think any of us
I'm not talking
does.
about that. Why do you not trust us? I asked you this before.
I do trust
Then
you.
believe us. We say you matter. We say you are who we want. But you don't believe us.
It's not that I don't believe you.
Then act on it. Then actually follow your own damn advice.
I will lift up my hand and show the blood bond. It's carved into my flesh. I'm banking my life on you. That is how much I trust you.
I was weak.
Malavik.
I took power into my own hands and carved a path. I have risked my life for those that ended up casting me aside, lying to me.
Malavik, what do you mean
using me.
you sought power?
Power comes at a cost. It all does, Yara. The warmth that surrounded me wasn't my mother. It was a far more ancient thing that showed me answers. And those answers, carved deep into my heart, gave me the power to take back what was rightfully mine. Freedom. And I will rip out every heart. I will tear out every morsel until I am sainted and this world is purified. Whether it's taking out the god creature, resurrecting your sister, whatever may we need to do to make all of you smile and follow that path. But in the end, this world will meet its end and its
Malavik.
rebirth.
For all that you question the gods, for all that you question all of us and our motives and how far we are willing to go for these things that the gods have given us, perhaps you should question it of your own.
No,
Whatever it is.
I have.
Well, it does not
Question.
seem so. It seems as though you are blindly following it, and we
No.
are supposed to just fall in line with this vision for the future that includes possibly killing everyone.
It's not about me.
It is. You said it yourself.
Why do you find so much faith in the weak carcass that is upon you? The answers are deeper. If we believed in each other, we wouldn't turn to them.
That is
No,
not true. That is
You don't
not
believe in us,
true.
then? You spoke your truth. You don't believe in us. I asked you earlier. You just said you don't. Which is it?
I believe in us in the flesh right here now, but I believe that our actions are temporary.
Then leave.
Everyone needs allies, Malavik, of varying degrees. And the gods
You
are no
just-
different.
Ask me to leave.
I did. I said leave if that's what you think.
No.
Yes, I did. I
Did
asked you
you
if
just
you
say
believed,
then
and I said
leave?
then leave if you do not. Because
I see.
I have told you many times, I will trust you. I will follow you, Malavik. I will lay my life down. But if you won't do the same, like you didn't before, I do not want to be near you.
Malavik, I believe, just like you, what we want are answers. Tell us more of this ancient being, why you sought them, what it is they gave you, what it is they want.
I did not seek anyone. It came to me in my dire times. I was upon death.
Like a god coming to someone to offer them a second chance.
Call it what you will. I was young. It was always there. It was never alone after that point. The warmth that I thought I got from my mother was scolding. I was beat half to death. She will not lay another hand on me. Once that action was done, the power came in troves. I grew stronger. There were only whispers then. but it's seemingly loud now. The fire burns but is not hot. And at the end of the day, everything that is told me so far is lining up.
Malavik, do you remember the promise that I made to you on the boat?
Yes.
Do you still want that?
I wish to be free of the burdens of this world.
That is not what I asked. I'm asking if you still want me to kill you, if you become not yourself. But that is what I
Yes.
promised you.
Do what you must.
And Malavik, do not make it an easy operation for them to take over. You are falling in line with exactly what they want.
What do you look at they as? Evil?
I don't know! I have a name, that is all!
Right. They have been there for me from the start. I do not know what's evil or what's good.
Malavik,
But they
we
know
have been
as-
there for you from the start of all of this. We do not ask anything of you.
I know. Hence why I still fight for you. And I will
Fight
put
for
my life down
yourself.
on the life. No.
Malavik,
I will do anything to see your safety. It's as simple as that.
oh Malavik,
You're the first ones that asked me how I was doing. The
Malavik.
first ones that touched the skin of a cursed person.
if
The
you would
first
like to
one.
see our safety, then do not make me kill you. Protect what makes you you. Do not give in. Do not talk of this craziness.
There's so much to it that I don't understand. But what I do know is that whatever's happening to me, I know it won't allow me or allow something to come to harm to me easily. The once that I can make out is not too far-fetched from what we want. I do not distrust any of you. I do not find you as something below me as I look towards Zorashtak. I do not toy with your affection as I look towards Arcelia. I do not doubt your love for others as I look towards Yara. And I do not feel as though any of you are misled as I look towards Karun. But at the end of the day, I will not close options off if it means to save the ones I care about.
That
The
is
one
what
thing I
you
can
did.
say about gods, and maybe you can agree or not agree, or maybe even beings of immense power, I believe that they could have taken over at any point in time if they wanted to. I
Well,
never
Malavik-
closed the door to them, but they have not yet.
If it comes to saving my life, I would rather die than you cross that line.
then I'm glad it's my choice and not yours.
That's a good place for us to end today. Normally I just hit the credits button right now, but it's a busy week here at Tablestory. That's right. We've got a new show on Friday. That's right. PB. It's a PB show. We're starting Ungodly Season 2. That is starting Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern. I know that's an odd time for us, but it's the time that we can make work for this show. 12 p.m. Eastern on Friday, Ungodly, The Lost Sea, son, is taking place. And on Saturday, we've got our next chill show. So hopefully we'll see you there. Piranha Plant has done a lot of work and has created the gotcha adventure game that I made in Tabletop Sim. So we're going to be trying that out. It's going to be me. It's going to be Brad. It's going to be Frank. It's going to be Dan. It's a sausage party. So come join us on Saturday at 4 p.m.
Happy
Eastern
Pride.
for the Shill Show fun. It helps keep the lights on. Hopefully we'll see you there. Thank you so much for joining us for today's Gatewalkers. And a reminder, if you want to check out the green rooms and things that we do, we've got those available on our merch store, which is merch.tablestory.tv. See you next time. Bye-bye.